Trump has been miserable in court. He said there's no more horrible thing for Donald Trump than just having to sit there and be quiet. Well, he's really, if that's the case, he's going to love prison. He's going to have a great time.
Oh, look who's receiving the acknowledgement they're entitled to. Donald Trump. He's now the first American president to be charged with criminal contempt in 235 years. But really, should we be all that shocked?
Yorkie, there was no trial today, no Stormy Daniels trial. They take Wednesdays off to air the place out, which means then Trump was free to fart on voters in Wisconsin and Michigan today.
The individual in question believed that governing a nation could be approached like a reality television program, featuring an abundance of turmoil, commotion, and a conspicuous absence of responsibility. If there is anyone who can expose Trump's genuine character, it is none other than Jimmy Kimmel. And speaking of Kimmel, he recently delivered a scathing critique of Trump that left him thoroughly eviscerated.
Watch this real closely here, because we call it the MAGA blaster, and it's great for, live performances, rallies, or just clearing brush, whatever you like.
Hello there, and thank you for tuning in to another installment of the infamous show, Worst Case Donald.
I would say they've tried a number of different devices to keep Trump awake, partially in response, or what appears to be in response to collective press corps observations. So, for example, when there are sidebars, an attorney doesn't leave his side anymore because leaving him alone means leaving him to potentially...
Jimmy Kimmel has taken note of Trump's recent court troubles, particularly the hush money trial in New York. Despite the break-in proceedings, Trump is likely not enjoying his respite. Instead, he is probably at home, unsure of how to turn this situation in his favor and left with nothing to do but twiddle his thumbs.
We are, week 3 now of the People versus Donald Trump? Yes, week 3.
Take long for Jimmy Kimmel to make fun of President Trump's current situation. Kimmel joked about how Trump must be feeling sitting in silence during his trial, unable to tweet his way out of trouble. A close friend of Trump, John Casta Matias, recently revealed that the president is feeling pretty miserable being unable to speak in court. Imagine being in Trump's shoes and not being able to talk during the trial. It's no wonder he's unhappy about the chilly courtroom and not getting days off. During court sessions, Trump can only drink water, so it's no surprise that he's been caught snoozing a few times. It seems like the poor guy is missing out on his favorite drink, Diet Coke. Despite all of this, Kimmel's jokes remind us that Trump's first world problems are nothing compared to the criminal investigation he's facing. Kimmel halted and directed his criticism towards Trump's brief birthday greeting to Melania.
Ferry was in an outside court on Friday where he got the weekend off to a hilarious start.
I want to start by wishing my wife, Melania, a very happy birthday. It'd be nice to be with her, but I'm in a courthouse for a rig trial. It's a rig trial. Terrible.
Seriously, can you believe that a husband would have the audacity to wish his wife a happy birthday while he's on trial for paying off a porn star? It's clear that he's missing something, like a conscience or a moral compass. His lack of tact is astounding, and he's living in his own little world that's completely disconnected from reality. And to top it off, Trump's attempts to rally up supporters for a protest outside the courthouse failed miserably, resulting in a chorus of boos. It's just adding insult to injury.
This can't be good for Trump's mood. He's been asking people to please show up to protest outside of the courtroom, and some of them actually have.
Kimmel proceeded to mock Trump's recent excursion to Miami, where he rendezvoused with Florida's governor, Ron DeSantis. DeSantis has been the target of much criticism lately, and it appears that Trump and DeSantis got along famously, spending hours together. Trump is undoubtedly pleased with the meeting, particularly since DeSantis pledged to collect funds for Trump's campaign. However, Kimmel couldn't resist poking fun at the entire scenario.
Trump was in Miami yesterday for a little get-together with a favorite punching bag named Ron DeSantis. Ronnie and Donnie met for several hours. They say the team said they knew the meeting went well when DeSantis came out of the room with Trump's body bronzer all over his face.
It seems that politics is always in the news, and the latest buzz is that Dan Santis is eyeing a presidential run in 2028. Good luck with that one, buddy. The reality is that Donald Trump is planning on making a comeback too. So for now, DeSantis has Trump's little white boots in his corner, whatever the hell that means. Let's not forget about Trump's sons, who aren't exactly the sharpest apples in the tool shed. Speaking of Eric Trump, he recently made a Fox appearance where he couldn't stop talking about his dad. It's like a broken record with that guy. That dude has definitely got some daddy issues to resolve, but the real shocker was when Trump posted 5 times about RFK Jr. over the weekend. It seems that Trump is trying to position Kennedy Jr. as a left-winger to siphon off some of his anti-vaxxer vote. It's like he's trying to protect a crazy vote at all costs. And trust me, there's plenty of crazy to go around in Trump's camp. And don't even get me started on Kristi Noem, the governor of South Dakota. Now, this lady shot her own puppy and goat and thought it was a good idea to share that story with the world. It's no wonder that the political climate is so polarized with politicians like these making headlines. One can only hope that the American people will elect someone with integrity, intelligence, and compassion in the next presidential election. It's hard to believe that Sarah Palin is still in the political spotlight, but apparently she's back and making headlines once again. In a shocking turn of events, it has been revealed that she is actually Donald Trump's top choice for vice president. Yes, you read that correctly. The same Sarah who once famously said that she could see Russia from her house. It's not surprising that people are questioning Trump's judgment on this one. After all, Palin's track record is less than stellar. From shooting animals from a helicopter to her lack of foreign policy knowledge, many are wondering how she could possibly be considered for such an important position. Despite all of this, it seems that Trump is still determined to make his mark on the political scene. He may be down in the polls, but he's certainly not out. And with the likes of Jimmy Kimmel around, you can be sure that there will be plenty more roasts to come. It's a strange time in politics, and it seems that anything is possible. Who knows what surprises the future holds? One thing's for sure, though, it's going to be an interesting ride.
We'd like you to know she also shoots horses. Who would write this? Now, this is a great example of how stupid these people are. This woman, not only does she want to be vice president, she's the governor of South Dakota. I don't know how big her staff is, but I'm guessing she has at least a dozen people working for her, probably more. Not one of those dozen or dozens of people raised their hand and said, Governor, do you think maybe not a great idea to share that story about shooting a whole petting zoo at your house?
Andrew Weissman, a former federal prosecutor, has expressed his serious concern over the possibility of Donald Trump facing jail time for not following the gag order in his hush money trial. When asked about whether Trump should go to jail for violating the order, Weissman suggested that the judge could impose something less severe, such as a fine. However, he also pointed out that Trump has already ignored orders from another judge in a different trial and did not care about the fines he received. Weissman believes that some sort of punishment, even jail time, may be necessary, especially if Trump's legal team fails to explain his actions. The issue of Trump's potential legal troubles is a contentious one, with opinions divided on both sides. Some believe that Trump should be held accountable for his actions, while others feel that the charges against him are politically motivated. Regardless of one's opinion, it is clear that the situation is complex and requires careful consideration. As we continue to follow the latest updates on this story, it is important to remain informed and engaged. By staying up to date on the latest news and analysis from the world of politics, we can better understand the issues at hand and make informed decisions about how to move forward. So be sure to like and subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit that icon button so you can stay tuned for all the latest updates. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next video.